Good evening and Jai Hind. Today I am here to understand the fourth chapter of class 10, that is quadratic equation. Before starting for quadratic equation, first of all let's get updated about what is quadratic polynomial. As you studied in second chapter polynomial, that quadratic polynomial is a polynomial with highest degree 2 and is written in the form of ax square plus bx plus c, where a cannot be 0. Why a cannot be 0? A cannot be 0 because if a will become 0, then you are left with bx plus c, and the highest degree not remains as 2, it remains now 1. And when degree 1 is there, that is called as linear polynomial, that won't be quadratic. So when you come about quadratic equation, so quadratic polynomial which is equals to 0, that is called as quadratic equation. A quadratic equation is a standard form of writing quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0. You have to see that the degree of the polynomial or degree of the variable which is present there should be in the decreasing order. So ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0. Although if it is bx plus c plus ax square, or c plus bx plus ax square, or c plus ax square plus bx, then that case also it remains the quadratic only. But when you have to represent it in the form of an equation, that has to be there in the form of ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0, where a, b and c, all these constant a, b and c are said as real numbers. A, b and c are real number, and in here also in any case a cannot be equals to 0. Because if a becomes 0, that won't remain now quadratic, that will turn into linear equation. So a cannot be 0. So any quadratic equation which is written in the form of ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0 is called as quadratic equation. How can you identify that whether it is a quadratic equation or not? I can give you an example. Suppose there is an area to be carpeted is given as 300 meters square, and it is given that the length of this rectangular portion is 1 more than twice the breadth. It means if you represent the b as a breadth as b, so length become 1 plus 2b. We can also show it in the form of a variable, that if you take it as let breadth be x, so length become 2x plus 1. As it is given as area is 300 meters square. So as you know that area is represented by length into breadth, that become 300 meters square. Length is 2x plus 1 and the breadth is x, that become 300. When you open the bracket, 2x square plus x minus 300 equals to 0 will be said as a quadratic equation, as here we got one variable here as x square. So always remember, whenever you get a variable with degree 2, then that variable or that equation is said as quadratic equation. Any equation with degree 2 is called as quadratic equation. Now there are some questions in the first exercise, as not more details given for this, because in further you will see that how we are going to solve a quadratic equation. Three methods of solving for quadratic equation is given there. First is called as factorization method, that you know how to factorize a polynomial and then make that polynomial equals to 0 to get the value of those value x, and that will be called as zeros. Now here it will be called as roots of equation. Second is called as quadratic formula, or we call as Sridharacharya formula. And third is called as method of completing the square. It means whatever the term equation is given there, we'll try to convert it in the form of whole square to get the roots of that equation. So these, and then you will see the word problem based on quadratic. So here now we are going to start the exercise 4.1, where in the first part of the same that you have to see that whether the given equation is quadratic or not, and in the second part you have to form a quadratic equation. You don't have to solve, you just have to form the quadratic equation. So let's start with that exercise and solving some question on the first part, and rest you all can try to solve on your own. Because there you need to only identify that whether the given equation is quadratic or not. Exercise 4.1, I am solving few questions for you all. Like if I take the question as fourth part of it, is given as x minus 3 multiplied by 2x plus 1 and x multiplied by x plus 5. We'll try to open the bracket and we'll see that any of the term is left with degree 2 or not. If there is no term left with any degree 2, then we won't say it as a quadratic equation. So first of all, let's open the bracket. As this is binomial with binomial multiplication, which you have studied in class 8. So x multiplied by 2x plus 1, then minus 3 multiplied by 2x plus 1, and here we can open the bracket, that become x square plus 5x. Now here we'll open the bracket, x into 2x become 2x square plus x minus 6x minus 3 equals to x square plus 5x. Now we'll put all the terms on the left hand side and make the right hand side equals to 0. So this will become 2x square minus x square, this is minus 5x plus 5x minus 3 equals to 0. Minus 5x plus 5x cancel, that become x square minus 3 equals to 0. So here is one term which is having a degree 2. So it is a quadratic equation. Whenever you get a term having degree 2, then that will be called as quadratic equation. So anyhow, when you have to open the bracket, you have to solve and see whether that any of the term is left with any degree 2 or not. If you are getting, it means that will form a quadratic equation. I hope this is clear. I am repeating it again. First of all, open the bracket, get it simplified, and put all the values on the left hand side, and then you see and decide that whether you are left with any of the term having degree 2 or not. If it is there degree 2 term, then it will be called as quadratic equation. There are some more problem. I'll let you know how to solve this. So you may copy this, and I'll solve one question which is there on the basis of cube. And the question is, this is 7th part of it. It's given as x plus 2 whole cube is equals to 2x times x square minus 1. So here one term is given as in the form of whole cube. So here also we'll try to open the bracket and see that either we are getting any term having degree 2 or we are getting a term which is more than degree 2 also. If there is a term having more than degree 2 or less than degree 2, then that won't be categorized as quadratic equation. So you have to see that the highest degree of that particular equation should be 2 only. It cannot be more than that, it cannot be less than that. So let's simplify. So we'll open the bracket using a plus b whole cube. As you know that a plus b whole cube is a cube plus b cube plus 3ab a plus b, and here we'll just open the bracket, that become 2x into x square become 2x cube and 2x into 1 become 2x. Now we'll simplify left hand side, x cube plus 8 plus 6x x plus 2 equals 2x cube minus 2x. Now after this step, we'll try to bring all the term towards the left hand side and we'll make the right hand side equals to 0. So this become x cube minus 2x cube plus 8 plus 6x square plus 12x plus 2x equals to 0. Now when you will solve it, x cube minus 2x cube become minus x cube plus 8 plus 6x square plus 14 equals to 0. As you are seeing that here is a term of degree 2 also and is a term of degree 3 also. It means it won't remain now quadratic as we are getting a term of degree 3. So you will conclude it as it is not a quadratic equation. As you know that in quadratic equation the highest degree of any term, particular term, should be 2 only. It should not be more than 2. As here we are getting a term having degree 3, so it won't remain now quadratic. So it is not a quadratic equation. I am repeating it again. First of all, we'll solve the left hand side using the property of a plus b whole cube, which is a cube plus b cube plus 3ab a plus b, and the right side you only just open the bracket. and then get it simplified and put all the RHS towards the LHS and make the RHS equals to 0 and get it simplified. After simplify, when you see a term having degree 2 only, then we can conclude that it is a quadratic equation. But if there is a term more than degree 2, then we cannot say it as quadratic. So it will not be said as quadratic equation, and then we will conclude it as it is not a quadratic equation. I hope this is clear. Okay. Now I'll try to solve one more question for you. I think this is the now 8th part of it. This is also given as in the form of whole cube. So this is 8th part. X cube minus 4x square, x cube minus 4x square minus x plus 1 equals to x minus 2 whole cube. Left hand side also there is a cubic polynomial, right side also it will form a cubic. So it might possible that if their cubic particular term is going to cancel. So for that we have to solve the RHS at left side is already solved. So we will copy the left side part, x cube minus 4x square minus x plus 1, and the right side we will try to open using the same identity, a minus b whole cube, which is a cube minus b cube minus 3ab a minus b. We'll try to open the bracket in that form. Now we'll try to solve the RHS and we'll copy the LHS as it is. So that become x cube minus 8 minus this become 3 to the 6x, 6x square plus 3 to the 6x, this become 12x, 6 to the 12x. Now see that we'll try to put all the term towards the left hand side. So this is x cube cancelled, minus 6x square become plus 6x square, and plus 12x become minus 12x, and minus 8 become plus 8 plus 1. So this we got it as 2x square minus 13x plus 9 equals to 0. And you are seeing that clearly the highest degree of the term is 2. So it means it will form a quadratic equation as it is already in the form of ax square plus bx plus c. So here we will conclude that it is a quadratic equation. I hope it is clear. We'll see it again. Left side of the given question was already in the form of cubic and the right side was given in the form of whole cube. So first of all we'll try to open the right side of the term using a minus b whole cube, which is a cube minus b cube minus 3ab into a minus b, and then we have opened the bracket, and then the next step we have simplified, and in simplifying we find that x cube is going to be cancelled, and we have kept all the RHS toward the left side, and we found that it is forming 2x square minus 13x plus 9 equals to 0, which is quite clear that the highest degree of this particular equation is 2, and therefore we will conclude that it is forming a quadratic equation. This is all about the first question. And in the second question you have to form a quadratic equation. For that you have to first of all understand the statement. I hope this is clear. So now I am rubbing it all. Second question is based on word problem. Word problem is also quite simple. Anyhow, you have to understand first the statement. If you understand the statement, then it will be easy for you to form the word problem. Like first it is asking the area of a rectangular plot is 528. So first we write the data as area is given as 528 meters square and it is a rectangular plot. It means we might suppose to be used area formula as length into breadth. And it's given that the length of a plot is 1 more than twice the breadth. Length of the plot is 1 more than twice the breadth. Accordingly, first form the statement that the value of length is 1 more than twice double of the breadth. As we can assume for any of the variable, as we all either we can take length as x or we can take breadth as x. We'll try to take breadth as x. Let breadth be x. So length become 1 plus 2x. as the length was 1 more than twice the breadth. So as you know, area is given as 528 meter square. So this become length into breadth equals to 528 meter square. Length is 2x plus 1, breadth is x, become 528. Now we'll try to open the bracket. 2x into x, 2x square plus x minus 528 equals to 0. This will be equation. So here you need to form the equation. So you don't have to solve, you only have to form the equation. So equation will be 2x square plus x minus 528. I'll repeat it again. Question says that area of a rectangular plot is 528. Length is 1 meter more than twice the breadth. It means whatever with the value of breadth will be, you have to double of it and then you have to add 1 to it. So that become 1 plus twice of breadth. I'll assume that we let the breadth be x, so length become 1 plus 2x. Since area of rectangle is given as length into breadth, we'll put the value of length and breadth and then we'll open the bracket and bring 528 towards the left hand side to write it in the standard form of a quadratic equation. So this become 2x square plus x minus 528 equals to 0. So this way you are going to solve the first part of it. I hope this is clear. So I am rubbing it. Now I will try to show you how to solve the second part of it. Second part says that the product of two consecutive positive integers is 306. It means first of all you have to understand when we talk of positive integer, consecutive integer, an integer which comes one by one. So we'll first of all assume let the consecutive integers be x and x plus 1. So we'll take the consecutive integers as x and x plus 1. As it is talking of consecutive, which means 1 by 1. So if you take the first as x, so second should be 1 more than the first one, and that we can take as x plus 1. They might, some might say that we can also take x minus x in x minus 1 and x, but it is asking of positive integer, so we'll try to take only the positive value. So consecutive integer will be x and x plus 1. Product of both consecutive integer is given as 306. So according to question, x into x plus 1 equals to 306. As product of both consecutive integer is 306. So x into x plus 1 equals to 306. So we'll multiply and open the bracket. X square plus x equals to 306. So this becomes x square plus x minus 306 equals to 0. Don't forget to mention equals to 0 because it should represent in the form of an equation, and equation will always have a sign of equal. So this will become x square plus x minus 306 equals to 0. So the answer of the same will be x square plus x minus 306 equals to 0. I hope this is clear now. Again it was repeating again. It is asking the product of two consecutive integers. The integers which are coming one after another is x and x plus 1. It is given that the product of both is forming 306. So x times x plus 1 is 306. We will multiply and open the bracket. So this gives as x square plus x minus 306 equals to 0. So this is your second part of it. Okay. And now I am rubbing it. Now moving towards the third part. Third part says that Rohan's mother is 26 years older than him. Just try to move according to the statement. It is asking of two persons, Rohan and Rohan's mother. So Rohan's mother is 26 years older than Rohan. It means whatever the age of Rohan will be, Rohan's mother will be 26 years older than him. So we will take let Rohan's age be x, then Rohan's mother's age will be x plus 26. as Rohan's mother is 26 years older than Rohan. And says that the product of their ages 3 years from now will be 360. It means after 3 years, the product of their ages, mean the age which they will attain after 3 years, the product of those two ages will be 360. So first we'll try to find the age after 3 years. So after 3 years, Rohan's age will be, as the age will be increased by 3, that become x plus 3. Don't make it 3x. 3x means 3 times. It's not 3 times. His age will increase by 3 years. So we'll add 3. So this become x plus 3. And then Rohan's mother's age. Rohan's mother's age, as Rohan's mother is x plus 26. And now her age will increase by 3 years. So that become x plus 29. Now according to question, it says that the product of their ages after 3 years is 360. So product of their ages will be x plus 3 multiplied with x plus 29, and the product of their ages is 360. So x plus 3 into x plus 29 is 360. Now we'll try to open the bracket. X time x plus 29 plus 3 times x plus 29 equals to 360. X into x, x square plus 29x plus 3x plus 87 equals to 360. Now I'll put 360 towards the left. So that become x square plus 32x plus minus 373 equals to 0. So this will be your quadratic equation. X square plus 32x equals to 0. X square plus 32x minus 373 equals to 0. Okay, I am repeating it again. Question says that Rohan's mother is 26 years older than Rohan. If the age of Rohan be x, it is quite obvious that Rohan's mother will be 26 years older. It means 26 years older than him. We'll add 26 to Rohan's age. That will be the age of Rohan's mother. So Rohan's mother will be x plus 26. Now it says that the product of their ages after 3 years will be 360. So after 3 years, first of all, we'll calculate the age of Rohan and the age of her mother. So age of Rohan will be x plus 3. His age will be increased by 3 years. Same way, Rohan's mother's age will also be increased by 3 years. Earlier it was x plus 26. When you add 3 to it, that become x plus 29. So after 3 years, Rohan's age is x plus 3 and his mother's age is x plus 29. And according to question, it says that the product of their ages is 360. So x plus 3 into x plus 29 is 360. We'll try to open the bracket. Again, we'll apply the same property, distributive and binomial with binomial multiplication. Copying x, multiplying x plus 29, copying 3, multiplying x plus 29. And now we'll apply the distributive, x into 29, 3 into x, 3 into 29. So that become x square, 29x plus 3x become 32x, and 87 minus 363 become 373. So x square plus 32x minus 373 equals to 0. That's the third part of the question. Number 2. I hope this is clear. Now moving to the last part of the same question, which will finish up with first exercise also. So last part of the question is quite simple also. A train travels a distance of 480 km at a uniform speed. One thing always remember that when the question is related with the speed, distance and time is there, and if you see that after some time, most of the time you will see that their time limit always keeps on increasing or decreasing. It means that the equation which you are going to form, that should be on the basis of time only. It means as the formula, you know that the formula for distance is speed into time. So when you form the formula equation, you will try to calculate in the form of time. So that will be distance by speed. So always try to form the equation in the form of distance by speed, because distance will remain the same. The variation will be there in the speed only. That is for the same distance, if a person is increasing his speed, then how much time it will take, or if a person is decreasing his speed, then how much time it will take. So So question will be based on the time only. So you have to see that when the question is based on time, always try to form the equation on the basis of time only. Now in this question it says that a train travels a distance of 480 km at uniform speed. So if you take the speed as x, let speed be x km/h. So time taken will be for going 480 km, so that becomes 480 by x. So time taken is 480 by x. Now if the speed had been 8 km/h less, it means now we are decreasing the speed. It would have taken 3 hours more to cover the same distance. It means when you will see that if the person is decreasing his speed, he's taking more time to complete the same distance. So here now when he is decreasing the speed, he'll take the more time than the previous time. So new time taken will be new time taken. I hope this is quite light, won't be visible. So new time when he is decreasing the speed is 480 by x minus 8 plus 3, because he is taking now 3 hours more than the previous time. So 480 by x minus 8 plus 3. Sorry, it's not plus 3 here. Whatever time he was taking previous, suppose this I denote it as t1. So when he will decrease the speed, so whatever time he was taking earlier, that will be increased by 3 hours more. It means when you are going to form the equation, when he is decreasing the speed, it means 480 by x minus 8 for the same distance of 480. Now whatever time he was taking earlier he was taking 480 by x time. Now he will take 3 hours more for the same distance. So that becomes 480 by x plus 3. Plus 3 will add towards that side. Is it clear? I am repeating it again. Whenever the question based on this speed, time and distance is there and the variation in time is given there, we'll always try to form the equation in the form of time. So time will be distance by speed. As for moving a certain distance will be same in all the case. Speed is already given as uniform. So we'll take the speed as x km/h. So for particular time taken, when he is going at a speed of x, time taken is coming as 480 by x. Now it says that when he is decreasing the speed by 8 km/h, then he will take 3 hours more than the previous. So new time, or we can do the changes here, t1 plus 3 hours more to go for the same distance, and t1 is actually 480 by x plus 3 hours more, that will be equals to 480 by x minus 8. It means when he is decreasing the speed, whatever time he was taking earlier, he will take 3 hours more for the same distance. So that has become 480 by x minus 8 equals to 480 by x plus 3. Now we'll solve it for x because we need to form the equation. So 480 by x minus 8 minus 480 by x equals to 3. We'll take 480 common. 1 by x minus 8 minus 1 by x equals to 3. We'll take the LCM here. X times x minus 8. X minus 8 is here, left with x. X is here, left with x minus 8. 480 towards both that side. 3 by 480. We'll get it simplified. That becomes 1 by 160. Now we'll do the cross multiply. So x minus x plus 8 multiplied by 160 and x times x minus 8 towards the right side. Now this x cancel. 160 into 8, 1280. x square minus 8x. So equation become x square minus 8x minus 1280 equals to 0. So equation is x square minus 8x minus 1280 equals to 0. I hope this is clear. I am solving the equation once again. I am repeating my process once again. Earlier time taken t1 is 480 by x, as 480 is the certain distance and x is the speed, so time taken will be 480 by x. Now when he is decreasing the speed, he will take 3 hours more than the previous time. Previous time is t1, 3 hours more, that becomes t1 plus 3 equals to 480 by x minus 8. So t1 will replace it by 480 by x. So equation is 480 by x minus 8 equals to 480 by x plus 3. Now putting 480 by x towards the right, taking 480 as common. So 1 by x minus 8, 1 by x equals to 3. Now we'll send 480 towards the right, that will go in form of divide. 3 by 480 become 1 by 160. And LCM is x times x minus 8. So x minus 8, x time, then we'll open the bracket. This become 1280 and this goes toward that side, that become x square minus 8x. Now putting all towards one side, either the left or right. So x square minus 8x minus 1280 equals to 0. So this is all about the first exercise. In the next exercise, we'll try to solve the question based on factorization method of finding the roots of the equation. Till that time, you just keep on revising the quadratic equation, as it's very easiest chapter. The way you will think about the chapter will automatically become in that way. If you think that the chapter is easy, when you solve, it will become easy. So don't hesitate in solving. Practice more and more question. It is quite easier for you all. Till the time, just keep on revising. Stay safe, stay happy. God bless you. Thank you and Jai Hind.